on. Go on. Don't care who you are, tell me. Alright, you can all sit down. Go on.
All exploring.
Believing!
People's demand. People's demand.
Now, alright, all sit down. You're right. You're all sit down, sit down. You're right. But you've all tried to dissect it out too much.
Too much. Okay.
What is the secret? Hard, bloody work.
Hard, bloody work.
What you all just said can be summed up with hard, bloody work. Hard work. And that is 98% of your success. In this room now, there are a few people who are geniuses.
Oh, yes.
They will have an innate entrepreneurial skill. They will have been born with it. They will have an ability to make money, more money than the rest of us put together. And you will look at that person. But do they have the drive? Do they have the dynamism? Do they have the hunger, the persistence, the stability, the psychological ability that you were talking about? In other words, do they have the ability to work hard? And the one thing about tourism is the hours are long. The pay at the beginning, even in the middle, is crap. You will work long hours for little work. And any of you who aspire to work in catering or kitchens, God help you. But it's the best job in the world. And the reason for that is because you're making people happy. Now there's one thing I want to just take up with you. What is the difference between a traveller and a tourist? Go on. Why did somebody say, somebody said, travellers, not tourists? What is the difference? Go ahead.
I think traveller doesn't follow a plan, he follows his pace to discover not just the monuments or culture, maybe traditions, maybe to talk with people, communication. So he doesn't follow any kind of plan. But the tourist is just, I think, maybe there are about many kinds of tourism. You can go for medical tourism or any kind of other tourism.
So a traveller is a tourist.
Yeah, come on, right. Come on.
Explorer. By definition, he must be. If there are many kinds of travellers, if there are many kinds of tourists, all a traveller is a tourist without a plan.
Yes. Travelers sometimes have plans, but they are more often.
Sir, thank you. Sir.
Tourists and travelers both go to the new places to explore it, but the traveler goes to the different places that in order to explore it, but the tourist will go to the temporary place to get the relax and like this kind of things.
Right. Which is better?
Like, I guess the traveler is better.
Ah! You have fallen into the trap! Tell me why!
Why?
The traveller better.
Why? What's the case? No.
Okay.
It's fine.
Yeah.
The problem is, the word tourism and tourist has become a dirty phrase. Nobody wants to be a tourist. Everybody wants to be a traveller. Everybody wants to be a traveller, to discover, to see. And I'm sure there are people who do, but 99% of people who say they are travellers are really tourists. The difference is they're staying in a cheaper hotel,
Okay.
they haven't got as much money, and they won't see as much. So the first thing I think you need to do is get over this idea of traveller versus tourist. I'm going to tell you a story. I was
Okay, we are
And
waiting
you
for
will
Sir.
see this. Who's actually already a guide? Who's a guide? Maybe you've done guiding.
Yeah, we have one.
Sorry?
Yeah, we have.
Come to in a minute. Have you actually done any guiding? Right. Right. So what will happen is, I was in Budapest, in Hungary. I was filming. We were in one of the main squares, I forget its name, and a tour bus arrived. 3 of them arrived at once. And off this bus got 30 or from each one, got 40 or 50
Okay. Okay, Sir.
visitors. They were all mostly American, mostly middle-aged or older. And you would have all looked at it and said, oh God, look at those tourists. Look at those tourists on a bus following somebody who's got a car aerial, not that you have car aerials these days, who's got a stick with a Coca-Cola can on the top of it. And they're following them around. And you would have all looked down your noses at this group. Because they weren't young, gapped students. They weren't hippies out to have a good time. And then I looked at the faces on this 100 tourists. What did I see? What did I see on their faces? No. What did I see? Sorry? Yes, what else?
Well, imagine it has excitement to discover all over the world, I think.
Yes. Yes. Say that again louder.
Excitement.
These were people in their 40s, 50s or 60s
Excitement.
from all parts of the United States or Europe. They were uncertain of what the world is like, and so they went on a tour. And this tour was going to show them every single thing that they needed to see in Hungary. And if they wanted to go and explore themselves, which is what you call your travellers, they could do so. But what I saw on their faces was excitement.
Excitement.
I saw the same excitement. In fact, I saw more excitement than I see when I see 22-year-olds in London, on their phone. Take a picture. Oh, this cafe's boring. Oh, this museum's... No! These middle-aged elderly people, they were really involved. They wanted to know about that statue. They were sending pictures back to their children. They were taking selfies. Now, they were travellers of a different type, but they were also tourists. And your job is not to distinguish between tourists and travellers, which is a nonsense. Your job is to bring out the traveller in every tourist. Your job is to take the tourist out of the mundane and the boring and give them something exciting. And don't worry if you call them, you know, Uzbekistan is interesting because the tourism industry, relatively young, is going to have huge growth. And where is that growth going to come from? Tell me. Sorry? No, which countries? Where do you want people to come from? Yeah, but which countries will visit here? Which countries? Other countries? Where?
From mostly Germany and Italy.
As you build your industry, get rid of any ideas that you're going to have large numbers of super jumbo jets landing in Tashkent or Samarkand with tourists from the United States. It's not going to happen. And even if it were to happen, you haven't got the infrastructure here that could cope with that level of tourism. But you are part of the generation that is going to build that.
Yep.
You are part of the generation that is going to be the future of tourism in this country. Now, I realise taking a guided tour around Samarkand or somewhere, you can't see the big picture. But as the gentleman here, who are you? Excellent, even better. As he said, your first major big tourists are going to come from your surrounding countries. Overland in many cases, but short-haul flights. At the same time, there will be an increase in medium hauls from Northern Europe and probably China and Asia. But that's going to take time. There has to be what we call airlift capacity, in other words, enough planes to carry everybody. There has to be infrastructure. There has to be a very good command of languages, which is why those of you who need to work on your English or Spanish, what other languages? Chinese? Korean? Well, Russian is sort of, I think, a given. How many of you speak Russian fluently? There we go. How many of you speak English fluently? Over the next, I assume most of you are in your 20s. Yeah. Over the next 30 years, you are going to witness a revolution in your country in tourism. The government is committed to a tourism strategy. You've built this amazing institution which will now cultivate the leaders of the next generation of tourism. You will see more people coming from neighbouring countries, and you will see more flights coming in from around the world. And in time, those high-spending tourists from the United States, Australia, and Southeast Asia will arrive. Korea's already coming here in large numbers, as indeed is Japan. So as I come to an end, and I'll take questions, what is the one thing I want to see from you when I arrive? What's the one thing I want to see? Sorry? No, when I arrive, who said mass tourism? What the hell do you want mass tourism for?
Oh, it's fine. It's fine.
What do you mean by mass tourism?
Oh, our teacher.
Yes, I can hear you.
Maybe you can like to see other countries worldwide, not only from Central Asia.
Right, but my point is that's going to take time. It's going to be slow.
Slow.
It's going to be very slow. And it's going to be slower than you would like. Because you've got to get airlift, you've got to get planes to bring passengers in. To get airlift means giving subsidies to airlines to fly here. You've then got to have the infrastructure to handle them. The number of hotel beds, which you're getting there, slowly but surely. You've got to have the guides, you've got to have the restaurants, you've got to have the cafes. You have a lot of challenges.
Challenges.
Challenges. Right, thank you, sir. But as I take questions and go there, what is the one thing I want to see from you?